at the site of one of the oldest high school baseball fields in the state of Texas at Bearcat Park. It is the site of the area round of Texas High School Baseball 6A division. We got Tigers on Tiger matchup here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for a good one here for the first broadcast of Houston Sports Live. It is the Conroe Tigers taking on the Klein Collins Tigers. Hello, everyone. Collin, Neill here on the call this evening. Just wanted to let y'all know real quick, due to UIL rules, we are going to be audio only tonight. Once again, we are going to be audio only tonight, but we are going to give you the best coverage we can here for this highly anticipated matchup between these two sides that, on two different sides of the coin when it comes to how they got through the bi-district round. Klein Collins, they got through pretty easily against Cypress Ranch, sweeping them. On Max Preps, it says that they beat them 3 times, even though it's obviously a best-of-3 series in the bi-district round. Of course, it could be different. It could be just one playoff game. But they beat Cypress Ranch in the first game 2-0, and then they beat Cypress Ranch again in that second game 6-4. When you look at the Conroe Tigers, though, they really had the battle in that bi-district round against Aldine that head coach Raymer will be talking about that round more in just a few moments. I had a chance to talk to him for a little bit before tonight's game, but you look at Conroe baseball, even before the bi-district round, they had to fight to get into the playoffs in the first place, finishing 4th in the district, and it was close. It was pretty close. They had to gut out a few wins at the end of the season, and they got in, and they are proving themselves so far that they does not only, merit being there record-wise, but also deserve to be in there. They faced Aldine last week in the bi-district. They lost the first game 6-4, and this is an Aldine team that only lost 3 games, as head coach Raymer pointed out in our pregame talk. Then they came back the next day, and they won in extra innings 4-2 against Aldine, again after losing that first game 6-4. And then in that third game, the Conroe Tigers, folks, just absolutely dominated. 7-0 victory over Dean to set themselves up with a matchup against the Klein Collins Tigers. They are top 100 team in the state, of course, according to Max Preps. Did not have the time to look it up on Texas High School Baseball because, this was a thing that was put on last minute. But very grateful for Conroe High School and head coach Raymer for letting us do the call this evening to call some Conroe Tigers baseball. The teams are currently going through their warm-ups, and the Klein Collins Tigers will be the home team for this one here at Bearcat Park at Klein High School all-turf field. It is a really nice field. The lights are on. First pitch at 7:30. It is going to be a true night game here at Bearcat Park on the campus of Klein High School. We're going to take a quick break real quick. When we come back, I had a chance to sit down with the head coach of the Conroe Tigers. Be right back on Houston Sports Live.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? The parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back to the Houston Sports Live pregame show. We're about 9 or 10 minutes or so away from first pitch here at Bearcat Park on the campus of Klein High School between the Conroe Tigers and the Klein Collins Tigers. Well, before the game, I had a chance to sit down with the head coach of the Conroe Tigers. Here is head coach Raymer. All right, we're here on Houston Sports Live with Coach Raymer, Collin Neill here. Well, Coach, kind of an interesting first round to say against Aldine. Y'all lost the first one, y'all won in extra innings, and the second one and dominated the third one. Just kind of recap that by district against Aldine.
Yeah, we knew that going into it, that was going to be a tough series with Aldine. They had only lost 3 games going into that series, and so they were a confident team and very athletic, and so we knew it was going to be a fight, and it was. Fortunate for us, we were able to make the plays when necessary, and we had some guys on the mound that really carried us through and allowed us enough time to score the runs when they mattered.
We'll get to the guys on the mound in just a minute, but kind of what changed after that first game that allowed your guys to get the next 2 games in order to move on to the area round today against Klein Collins?
Well, Aldine jumped out on us in that first game, and when we made that comeback, we scored the 4 runs. I think it kind of reignited the guys and reminded them that we're a really good team, and we went out the next 2 games and played that way.
Are you somebody that believes in momentum?
So I believe momentum is whoever's on the mound next for you. Like the guy that is up on the bump is the guy that determines what the momentum is, and fortunately we have a pretty good staff.
Talk about your guy on the mound tonight.
So we have Tanner Trantham that'll be pitching for us. He's pitched a lot of big games for us this year. He's has the best velo for us, and he's a competitor. He's a guy that we trust to get out there and give us a shot. We talk to our pitchers a lot about their job is not to go win the game for us. It's just to give us a chance to win the game, and we believe he'll do that for us.
I've only seen y'all 2 times this year, and but one thing I noticed in those 2 times was that infield defense. Talk about that infield that you have.
The thing that we're going to do is we're going to pitch and we're going to play defense, and when we do that, we win games. A lot of our games are going to be low scoring, and so having a quality infield defense, and a lot of that starts with our shortstop Owen Raymer, and he's been kind of a solid piece for us this year. And Jake Matthews, a sophomore that has plugged into third base for us and has made a lot of really good plays.
And your line, you got good guys on the top of the lineup. Is your bottom of the order going to have to be asked to step up, especially in this kind of environment?
Yeah, what we really want our bottom of the order to do is just flip that lineup over every once in a while. Get some walks, lay down some bunts, do some hit and runs, kind of move the defense around a little bit to give the top of our lineup an opportunity to come up with guys in scoring position so that we can make that count.
And looking at your opponent tonight, what do you see in Klein Collins?
They're just a really good team. They're a really good high school baseball team that is really well coached. Griff does a tremendous job over there. They got 2 really good arms that have beaten a lot of really good teams, and so we know we have our work cut out for us. They're also going to be sound defensively, and so I think the team that plays the cleanest games out of this 3-game series is going to advance.
Well, Coach, before I let you go, what's going to be the keys tonight for you guys to steal game 1 here?
So we can't give free base runners. We can't have walks, can't have errors, and then offensively we have to be able to execute our offense whenever it's time. We have to be able to get the bunt down or get the hit and run, put a little pressure on them. If we can do that, I like our chances.
Well, I speak for our acquaintance Jordan Smith when I say thank you for letting us cover y'all today for the first broadcast on Houston Sports Live.
I appreciate y'all being here. It's going to be fun.
All right, thank you, Coach. That was head coach Jeff Raymer of your Conroe Tigers. The coaches, Chris Griffin of Klein Collins and Jeff Raymer of Conroe, are meeting with the umpire. We got a 4-man crew on this evening, so going to be, of course, a lot of high schools don't have the luxury of having it's not really common to have a 4-man crew in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, these are very important. You got to get every call right as best as you can in order to make sure we have a good old fair game. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups tonight. First, for the home team that the Conroe, it goes like this. Excuse me. The batting leadoff in left field, number 12, Dylan Yasek. Batting second, number 3 in right field, Ryan Holman. Batting third, number 23 at shortstop, Bryce Romero. Batting fourth in the cleanup spot and the starting pitcher on the mound tonight for Klein's Collins, it'll be Bryson Session. Batting fifth, number 22 at first base, Noah Melendez. Number 6 at second base, Gio Compian. And then batting seventh, number 18, third base, Isaac Gutierrez. Batting eighth, number 15, he'll be in center field for the Tigers of Klein's Collins, Clayton Allen. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 11, Hudson Tice. And then just in there for defensive purposes is going to be number 7, Tim Smith. He is the catcher tonight. They are led by head coach Chris Griffin, varsity assistant Josh Bates, assistant coach Conrad Ramquist, assistant coach Brian Keefe, assistant coach Chester Session. All right, and here is the starting lineup for your Conroe Tigers. All pretty familiar names. It goes like this. Batting leadoff, the designated hitter, number 16, Jaden Keith. Parker Watson will be in the left field for defensive purposes. Batting second at right field, Jackson Reagan wearing number 3. Batting third, Tanner Trantham. He is the starting pitcher tonight for your Conroe Tigers. Batting in the cleanup spot, the 4th spot, you go to Ed Rothlander, number 18. He'll be in center field. Batting fifth, number 23, Gavin Stenger. He is your backstop tonight at the catcher spot. Batting sixth at second base, number 5, Sam Busby. Batting seventh, Landon Bruns. He'll be at first base, wearing the good old 1-2, number 12. Batting eighth, Jake Matthew, number 11. He'll be at third base. Been playing some really good defense. And then batting ninth will be Owen Raymer, wearing the good old number 2 at his usual shortstop position. Again, that's Keith, Reagan, Trantham, Rothlander, Stanger, Busby, Bruns, Matthew, and Raymer. Conroe Tigers are led by your head coach, Jeff Raymer. We're about to get set and get underway as Klein Collins is taking the field at this time. Conroe Tigers are also on the field. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will have first pitch here on Houston Sports Live. On a nice night with cloudy skies in the 70s here at Klein High School at Bearcat Park, a field apparently very, very old, dating back to 1968. Probably goes back even further. I got to fact check myself on that, but that's what I was told. But it is the site of the area round in Texas High School Baseball Division 6A between the Conroe Tigers and the Klein Collins Tigers. Hello, everyone. Collin, Neill here on the call this evening for Houston Sports Live, and this is a pretty special one here, folks. This is the first broadcast for Houston Sports Live, so thank you. I would like to say, to start off, thank you to Jordan Smith for allowing me to be on the call for this one, and head coach Jeff Raymer for giving us the all go-ahead to have this broadcast here this evening for all y'all Conroe Tigers fans. We're about to get underway. On the mound tonight for the Klein Collins Tigers is going to be the right-hander. Also batting cleanup tonight, number 5, Bryson Session. As the music goes quiet, and Jaden Keith steps up to the plate, and we are about to get off and underway. Glad to have you with us once again on Houston Sports Live. This is bound to be a good series between these two squads. Klein Collins finishing 3rd in their district. Conroe Tigers finishing 4th in theirs. Keith, the right-handed hitter, steps in, designated hitting tonight. He twirls the right red bat. First pitch from Session is a slider low and away for a strike, and we are underway here. 7:31 p.m. first pitch. Sessions working from the first base side of the rubber. Another swing and a miss, this time on the fastball to Jaden Keith. It's 0-2. Session working quickly. That's popped up on the infield. Smith under it. No, Session calls him off with his cat flying off as he makes the catch just inside fair territory, about 10 or so feet away from home plate for out number 1 to begin this one. So it's a pop out to the pitcher to begin things here. One away here in this top of the first inning as Jackson Reagan now steps in. He's also in right field today. Sessions' first pitch to him is a fastball that's at his head for ball 1. Once again, working from the first base side of the rubber. Fastball high and inside to Reagan. Count runs 2-0. The right-hander goes. Fastball finds Main Street. It's 2-1. Once again, the Conroe Tigers really had to battle in that district round against Aldine, losing the first game, but then winning the next two. 2-1. That one's low and away. Count goes up to 3-1. Tanner Trantham waits in the on-deck circle for his number to be called. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Session. Outside, ball 4. And Jackson Reagan will represent the first base runner of the evening for the Conroe Tigers with 1 away. Tanner now steps in, right-hand hitter. Session's first pitch is low and away. Session having some control issues here early on. Was able to get Keith on 3 pitches, but walks Reagan 3-1. Trantham also starting tonight for the Tigers. Fastball finds the inner half, and Trantham doesn't like the call. The Conroe crowd doesn't like the call. But either way, it is 1-1. Pick off attempt not in time. Let's get your defensive alignment for the Klein Collins Tigers. Holman's in right field. Allen's in center. Yashik is in left field. Romero's at short. Gutierrez is at third. Campion is at second base. Melendez at first. Smith behind the plate, and Session is on the mound. Session goes. That bounces a few feet before home plate. Reagan's going to try for second, and he's going to get there, and the ball goes into the outfield. Reagan's going to easily go on to third, standing up. And you can hear the crowd getting into it early for Conroe. Counts 2-1, 1 out. Infield is now in on the fringe of the turf dirt in the grass. Reagan faking, and the curveball is inside. Trantham saying it might have hit him, but the umpire says no, it didn't. It's now 3-1 though, so a good hitter's count here for Trantham. If I were him, I could see if Session tries to throw a fastball, and I'm hunting it right here, try to get one into the outfield with Reagan at third. Thought about going, curveball, and that's inside. Might have hit him, but it doesn't matter. It grants him first base. Runners at the corners now with just 1 out. Head coach Jeff Raymer calls time. He's going to have a courtesy runner go out there for his pitcher. It's going to be Gunnar Paps, if I read that number correct, 24. So Ed Rothlander, the center fielder, now steps in. First pitch to him looked like a fastball, maybe even a cutter that goes outside. It's 1-0. This will be pretty key here for Conroe to get off to a hot, fast start. Runners to the corners with 1 out. Next pitch, curveball. That finds the zone. That looks like a beautiful breaker right there. It's 1-1. Already making Bryce Session work a lot early in this one. Reagan on third, Paps at first. Pitch. Ground ball, that goes foul. Pass, head coach Jeff Raymer in the coach's box. It's 1-2 rather. Still only 1 out. Infield playing kind of normal def. Second baseman Compion shading himself towards the second base bat, but the shortstop in Romero playing his normal spot. Check swing. He did not go on the breaking pitch low and away. And did he say to go? No, he did not. So the count evens up 2-2. Session still working from the first base side of the rubber. Runners at the corners with 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Runs low and outside. It's now full count. Gavin Stanger waits in the on-deck circle, the 5-hole hitter tonight for the Tigers. Big pitch coming up. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Session. Curveball is inside for ball 4. Paps was on the run as well, but it doesn't matter. The bases are now loaded with just 1 out. And head coach for Klein Collins, Chris Griffin's going to go out there and have a conversation with his pitcher and the infield. So already the Conroe Tigers in a very big spot. Again, this inning began with a 3-pitch out to leadoff hitter Jaden Keith, but then just like that, it is now bases loaded with 1 out. That's the thing about baseball, folks. Like, anything can happen. Reagan, the tool hitter, after that 3-pitch out by Keith, went to first on a walk. He then stole second and then reached first after that stolen base on a throw-in error by the catcher. And then Trantham walked. Paps is in his place. Gunnar Paps is in his, or Pops, excuse me, in his place. And then what happened after that, Rothlander just was down 1-2 in the count, and then Session just couldn't put him away. There was also some good discipline by Ed Rothlander to reach first on a walk, and that leaves the bases loaded. Gavin Stanger now steps in. Big spot as the night gets darker here on the campus of Klein High School at Bearcat Park. Session goes, first pitch to Stanger. breaking ball at his head. Had to lean back just a bit. It looked like it's now 1-0. Session still working on the first base side of the rubber. Pickoff attempt the third. Reagan almost went a little bit too far off the bag. That's not in time, though, so still bases loaded. Don't normally see a right-handing pitcher pick off the third. Next pitch to Stanger is a low below the knees. Look like a changeup. It's 2-0. Tigers showing great discipline to begin things here. Here's the 2-0. Excuse me, swing goes foul. Looked like Stanger was either going to swing but decided not to at the last moment or decided to swing at the last moment. Either way, though, it runs 2-1. Bases loaded. 1 out in this top of the first inning in the area round of Texas High School Baseball 6A. Next pitch. That's low and away on the fastball. It's 3-1. Big spot here for Stanger. Reagan at third. Pops, who's running for Trantham at second, and Rothlinger at first. Fly ball high in the air. This is a pop at the second baseman, Campion. He goes onto it, and an infield fly rule is called. That's out number 2, though. Still a good opportunity here for the Conroe Tigers to try to at least put one on the board. Got the ball in the air, just didn't get it far enough out there. Sam Busby, the second baseman, now steps in. 3-1, or first pitch rather, is in there for a strike. Busby has been a big piece to this squad with his glove. I mean, everyone really on that infield for Conroe has been a big contributor when it comes to their defense. Trying to get it done with the bat, though. Here's the 0-1. Curveball runs high and in. Busby had to duck out of the way of it. Next pitch. Fastball high in the air down the right field line, and it is going to go out of play, foul. Nearly hit one of the school buses that brought Klein Collins here, so the count runs 1-2. Good to see Busby try to shorten up on the bat. I mean, really anything in play, try to create some chaos on the infield. Session goes 1-2. That's popped up, shallow right field, and this is going to get caught by Holman, who took a few steps back and then had to come in on it in shallow right field. And that is out number 3. The Conroe Tigers, though, gave Session a run for his money, but ultimately leave the bases loaded. We'll step aside. Bottom of the first inning coming up. Tanner Trantham is on the mound.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back on Houston Sports Live. Calling you on the call this evening. Tanner Trantham, the right-hander for Conroe, who is now on the mound. He is going to start this one off, hopefully going to have a better inning than Session did. Session, although he went scoreless in that top of the first inning, just the fact that he had to work so many pitches in that inning and put traffic on, that not only, gets him tired, already have his pitch count high early on, but it also gives, you would think, Conroe a lot of confidence, like, hey, we can hit against this guy. We just need to see him probably a second time through, see what he throws, see where his tendencies are. But it's going to be up to Trantham to try to keep the Klein Collins offense in checks. Leading off for the Klein Collins Tigers, Dylan Yashik, the right-handed hitter, watches that first pitch, a fastball from Trantham, go low and outside for ball one. Deep breath by Trantham, leg kick, pitch. That one finds the zone, strike one. Trantham likes the sign from Stanger, the catcher. Here's the 1-1. Breaking pitch, beautiful on the outside part of the plate. It is now 1-2. First out going to be key here for Trantham to get in every single inning that he pitches. That first out is going to be a pretty big deal because, that's ironically kind of, you would think it's the easiest out, but that's the hardest out to get, 1-2. And that one's just a bit outside. Looked pretty good from here. It's 2-2. But getting that first out is always going to be the most difficult no matter who you face, no matter the situation. If you get that first out, you put the pressure on the bats. Here's the 2-2. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. It was high in the zone. Yashik tried to send it to the outfield, but he misses. Strikeout number one on the night for Trantham. That's one away here in the bottom of the first inning. Ryan Holman now steps in, the left-handed hitter for Klein Collins. Trantham's first pitch to him is low at the shins. It's 1-0. With one out, the 1-0 pitch from Trantham. Fastball finds the zone, strike one. It's two-stick count, 1-1. Got a great crowd here between Klein Collins and Conroe. They all traveled pretty well to get here, especially with the traffic that was here. 0-1 pitch breaker, check swing. He held up, but it was a called strike. That looked like kind of like a changeup as well from Trantham. Had the same release point, kind of arm speed as a fastball, but it breaks, and then it breaks away from a left-handed hitter. 1-2. Ground ball past Trantham, fielded by Busby. Cleanly throw on the first in time. The 4-3 put out for the second out of the top of the first, bottom of the first inning. Three-hole hitter Bryce Romero steps in, the shortstop for Klein Collins. That ball hit to the left of Trantham. Probably a good thing he didn't touch it because Busby had a good key on it. Get your defensive alignments for the Conroe Tigers in just a moment. First pitch, line drive into center field. Rothländer moving in, and he's just going to let it drop and play it safe. First hit of the night for either side comes in courtesy of Romero on the first pitch he saw from Trantham. Pitcher number 5. Bryce Session will now step in. Before we get to that, here's the defensive alignments for the Conroe Tigers. Reagan's at right field, Rothländer in center, Parker Watson, I should say, in left field. Matthews is at third, Raymer is at shortstop, Busby is at second base, Bruns is at first base. Stanger behind the plate at the backstop, and Trantham's on the mound. Defensive alignments for the Conroe Tigers. First pitch to Session, pitcher on pitcher, as just outside for a ball. Trantham won the first battle tonight between either pitcher with a walk. Here's the 1-0, 2 away. Line drive down the left field line, and that is going to be fair as it one hops the wall. Watson fields it cleanly. He's going to hurry, throw it in. Sessions going to try for 2. He will get there, and that is going to be a double for Bryce Session. And the Klein Collins Tigers have runners on second and third with 2 outs. Cody Madden will go out in courtesy run for the pitcher Session at second. Now stepping in for Klein Collins is going to be number 22, Noah Melendez. Trantham also finding himself in trouble in this first inning. First pitch to Melendez is breaking pitch low and away. Gets away from Stanger for a moment. Runner and Romero decided to stay at third. Thought about it for a moment. 0-1. Trantham working from the first base side of the rubber. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1 to Melendez. That breaker is low below the knees. It's 1-1. Right-handed hitting Melendez versus the right-hander in Trantham. 1-1. Fastball, good one. Finds the zone. Melendez probably wasn't expecting it. He buckled up a bit on that. It is now 1-2. Stanger steps out to make sure everything is all good on the defensive side. Matthew, the third baseman, was really hugging that third baseline. I anticipating Melendez to really pull this ball. Second and third, 2 outs in this bottom of the first. Here is the 1-2 from Tanner Trantham. Late kick and goes. Chopper fouled. Melendez barely making contact on that curveball. We still roll on, though, 1-2 with 2 outs. No score between either Tigers. So Tigers on Tigers. Don't really see that often. And at Bearcat Park, it just makes it a little bit more funny. 1-2, 2 outs. The pitch. Fastball just high, just above the letters. It's 2-2 to even the count. Trantham goes. Fastball's just inside. Stanger trying to frame it back over the plate, but the home plate umpire wasn't convinced. It is now a full count with 2 outs. Runners in scoring position at second and third. Gio Campion is in the on-deck circle if his number is called. Big pitch coming here, especially early in this ballgame. 3-2. Curveball's low and inside for ball 4. And just like in the first inning for Bryce Session, Tanner Trantham now has to get out of the bases loaded situation as head coach Jeff Raymer is going to go out and have a talk with his right-hander. While we have the pause in the action, folks, just want to let you know that tonight's broadcast on Houston Sports Live is brought to you in stunning 2K Quad HD with an enhanced 4K Ultra HD in presentation. Closed captioning is also available for the hearing impaired. Raymer now breaks away from the mound. Coming to the plate for your Tigers. And this is good. Campion now steps in, the right-handed hitter for Klein Collins. Very big spot here for both sides. Can Trantham leave the bases loaded like Session did against Conroe in the top half? First pitch is a good one in there for a strike. That's a good start for the righty. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here is the 0-1. Line drive, and that gets past Matthew at third, and that's going to score at least 2 as Madden crosses home. Melendez stays at third, and Gio Campion has put Klein Collins ahead 2-0 on a 2 RBI double.
Third baseman, number 18, Isaac Gutierrez.
Campion, after he saw that first pitch, it's almost like he knew exactly what Trantham was going to do afterwards. First pitch to Isaac Gutierrez is a breaker in there for a strike. It's now 0-1. Game not out of reach, especially since, as Stenger calls time real quick, especially since what Conroe had to do in the second game against Aldine in the bi-district round in order to come back and win it to even up that series. 0-1. That's another breaker, kind of a bit more of a tighter slider that time. It's 1-1. It's high and away. One. Pop fly high in the air, drifting towards foul territory. Bruns in on it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But the damage has already been done early on for Klein Collins, thanks to a Gio Campion 2 RBI double down the left field line that got past Matthew. They did not rule that as an error, so it is a hit for Campion. And I'll do it for the first inning. When we come back, we'll have the second inning coming to you here on Houston Sports Live. Be right back. Landon Bruns will now step in right behind him for Conroe. It will also be Jake Matthew and Owen Raymer. So the 7, 8, 9 hitters up for Conroe. First pitch is inside for a ball. Next pitch, check swing, went straight to the home plate umpire. Foul ball. So the home plate umpire is all right. It's 1-1. Session trying to shake off that first inning that could have gone badly. Fastball running low and away. Great movement. It's now 1-2. Bruns trying to get a rally started here. Here is the pitch. Curveball, and it hits Bruns just on the hamstring, and he is a bit shaken up as he's limping towards first base. He seems to be just all right, though, as he heads on down there. Not exactly what Session wanted to do to begin this inning, is to give the Tigers free bases. That was one of the keys, though, for head coach Jeff Raymer tonight against Klein Collins, is to not give them free passes. And before that 2 RBI double by Compion, Melendez, the first baseman for Klein Collins, walked to load the bases and put more pressure on Trantham. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. You could be down by more than 2 runs, of course, but that 2-0, that 2-0 score right now feels like a lot, especially against this Klein Collins squad. Jake Matthew now steps in, ground ball over the middle, and it hits the second base bag and into center field. Folks, I've called baseball for quite some time, and I finally get to call a ground ball hitting a base bag. Runners now at first and second with nobody out. Could see the bunt, possibly a sac bunt being put down by Owen Raymer. We'll see what he decides to do. He shortens up on the bat. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Session looking back at second at Bruns. Raymer puts the butt down. It dribbles. This is a really good one. This is going to be a tough play by the third baseman, and he gets it in time. What a play by Gutierrez to get Raymer out at first, but Raymer gets the job done on a sac bunt to move both runners in scoring position, and a base hit could tie this game up as the lineup turns over to the top with Jaden Keith now stepping in. Keith popped out to the pitcher his last time up on 3 pitches to start the game. Fastball runs low below the knees. It's 1-0. Same pitch, but this time it bounces in the turf. So it's 2-0. 1 out. Klein Collins struck first with a 2 RBI double by Compion. Conroe looking to even up the score as that fastball finds the zone. 2-1. Keith calls time wearing the pink arm sleeve. Conroe Tigers wearing the black with the Tiger gold numbers outlined in white. Klein in the gray pants with the black socks. Klein Collins with the white jerseys. 2-1. Fly ball to right field. This could be trouble, and it gets down just beyond the first base bag. 1 run scores in Bruns, and it is now a 1-run game as the Conroe Tigers get their first run of the game off of an RBI single by Jaden Keith. Hey, whatever works. It maybe not as hit far, probably hit about 100 feet, but it gets the job done. It was a good effort, though, nonetheless, by the second baseman Compion. He dove for it and almost got to it. And Melendez moves in, thinking that a bunt might be getting put down. Conroe does like to play some small ball as Reagan steps in. He walked his last time up, stole a base, and reached third on an error. I was a bit lost for words what Melendez was exactly doing. It's 1-0, though, for Jackson Reagan. Ground ball, and this will tie the game, and it will. So an RBI ground out by Jackson Reagan will knot things up as there was a sliding collision by Keith to the second baseman Compion. And now head coach Griffin is going to go out and have a conversation with the field umpires. I mean, even if Compion even fielded that ball cleanly, the runner in Reagan was definitely going to be safe. He was already way so far down the line, especially with a ball that's chopped that high. It was going to be tough to turn 2 anyway. So the 4-man crew is going to have a conversation, going to not do anything on the scorebook just yet. This is a big call here because Conroe Tigers just tied the game on Jackson Reagan RBI ground out. still talking. Trantham waiting patiently just outside the batter's box. I mean, the fact that this is going on so long, let's see what happens here. And they're going to upheld the call, so the game is tied. That's exactly what you wanted to see, and Griffin, the head coach for Klein Collins, is still arguing. He's talking with the home plate umpire, and it looks like they're still talking, and he's going to go ahead back to his dugout. Chris Griffin, Jeff Raymer talked about him in our pregame talk, a pretty respectable coach. They talked a lot pregame, so they seem to get along quite well. Of course, it's really all things that the coaches do. So Tanner Trantham now steps in. He can help out his own cause here. First pitch he sees, fly ball, left field, this is high. Left fielder Yashi going back on the warning track, and that is out number 3. Man, Trantham made a really nice big for a long ball, but it dies down before it reached the wall. But the Conroe Tigers get the job done. They are now tied up against Klein Collins 2-2. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the second inning after this.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Folks, don't miss the final UIL state event of the year, the 2025 State Baseball Championships, taking place June 5th through June 7th at the Dale Diamond in Round Rock. For schedule, spectator, and ticket information, please visit uiltexas.org/baseball. Again, that's uiltexas.org/baseball. Oh boy, Trantham made a bid for a home run. I thought for a moment it may just scrape the wall, but that ball died out there in left field.
Coming to the plate for Klein Collins, center fielder number 15, Clay Allen.
Clayton Allen, the center fielder for Klein Collins, steps in. 8-9-1 hitters due up in Tice in Yashik. First pitch fastball is outside for a ball. (1-0). Foul ball right back to the backstop. Trantham, glove at the belt, kick and the pitch. Slider rolls and this time goes to the backstop. It's not a bad pitch to try to get Allen fishing, but it runs the count 2-1. As the new baseball gets thrown for the home plate umpire, Trantham now gets back on the rubber, working from the first base side once again. Here's the 2-1. That is in the zone for a strike to even up at 22. 2-2 count for Trantham. That one's just a bit outside. It looked like a really good pitch, but runs the count full here at 3-2. Hudson Tice waits in the on-deck circle for Klein Collins. Big pitch here, 3-2. Chopper down the third baseline, and it will roll foul. Matthew will say he plays kind of normal depth. He kind of plays deep for a third baseman. Kind of something that a lot of third basemen will do, just kind of get a better read on the ball. There's some third basemen that rather play within the third base bag or even with it. You see the shortstop Raymer, second baseman Busby on the fringe of the infield dirt and outfield grass. Breaking ball is low and away for ball 4, so a full count walk for Allen to get things started for Klein and Collins and get runners on the bases. Tice now steps in, the designated hitter tonight for Klein and Collins. Trantham looking at the runner on first in Allen. First pitch, shows bunt, pulls back. It was high, 1-0. The night goes dark here almost completely. Sunlight's still kind of peering through the clouds. Beautiful night for some high school baseball as the Klein Collins dugout getting in on this action. Shows bunt, puts it down, but that one rolls foul. Allen has a good first step. He can definitely get the second pretty easily on a bunt. I could see Trantham here go with a breaking ball since Tice might be bunting yet again, or trying to at least. He shows bunt. And pitch goes, called strike. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner to the left-handed hitter. And it's 1-2. The bunt is now off. Unless Tice is feeling really dangerous. Trantham looking in on Sanger, his catcher. First base side of the rubber yet again. Runner on first is Allen with nobody out in this bottom of the second inning. Curveball called, strike 3, ringing up with the hook. That is out number 1. Second strikeout of the night for Trantham. Big first out. But that does turn the lineup card to the top. With Yashik now coming at the plate, he was Trantham's, his first strikeout victim to begin the offense tonight for Klein Collins. That is flown high in the air. Left fielder Watson moving in, and he makes the catch as the ball falls from the Klein night sky. That is out number 2. Ryan Holman, the left-handed hitter for Klein Collins, steps in. He grounded out to second to Busby on a ball hit over the middle past Trantham that hit the mound. Here's the first pitch to him. That one's outside. I mean, Trantham has some good stuff. He's just going to have to trust it tonight. Another key for him will be to try to settle down in that top of the order of Klein Collins. And like head coach Jeff Raymer said, as that pickoff attempt's not in time, not give many free passes. And he gave a free pass to Allen to begin this inning with a walk. But after that, called strikeout looking to Tice and a flyout to Yasik. Pitch, break ball is low. Allen will take second, though, on a delayed steal. Stanger didn't know it. It's a 1-1 count now, but a runner is in scoring position. Two-stick count, 1-1. The pitch. Breaker finds the outer half of the plate for a strike and also at the knees. It is now 1-2. Pressure is now on Holman. Not going to have pitch count tonight. Unfortunately, the pitch count, well, there is no pitch count for, it looks like, on the Bearcat Park scoreboard. Either way, though, Trantham has been somewhat efficient if you want to put it in a better light. First base side of the rubber once again. Runner on second is Allen. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball is way high. Stanger had to get out of his stance to get that one. Count evens up at 2-2. The 2-2. Called strike 3 on the inner half. And that will do it for Klein Collins as Trantham get his second strikeout of the inning, his third in the game. We're still all knotted up through 2. We're tied up 2-2 between Conroe and Klein Collins. We'll be right back for the third inning after this on Houston Sports Live.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official?
Rockland.
Top of the third inning set to get underway here, all tied up 2-2. 4, 5, 6 hitters. Rothlander, Stanger, and Busby are due up. Rothlander steps in. He walked his last time up in the first inning. First pitch he sees is at his head. Had to duck out of the way. It's 1-0. Standing just on the edge of the batter's box near the plate. Breaker in there for a strike to even things up. Center fielder in Allen playing pretty deep out there. Breaker almost found the upper inside corner, but Rothlander wisely lays off. There's hardly anything you can really do with that pitch. Just kind of have to get under it, kind of. 2-1. Fastball's high, just above the letters. It's now 3-1. Conroe can steal this first game. It'd be quite big. 3-1. Swing and a miss was late on that fastball. It's full count. Rothlander walked his last time up. He's probably looking to try to do it again or even something much better. 3-2. Swing and a miss. This time he goes down swinging. Has one away. First strikeout of the night for Bryce Session. Stanger now steps in. He swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. It's 0-1. Melendez really hugging that first baseline against the right-handed hitter. 0-1. That one finds the zone for a strike as Sessions' cap falls off. It's 0-2. Stanger popped out to second base his last time up. Next pitch, curveball runs low. Stanger taking it all the way, didn't really bite on it, so he must have seen it out of his hand quite well. Stanger's probably just trying to hunt fastball here as time is called by Stanger. Getting in a few practice swings before he steps back into the batter's box. He's back in there. Home plate umpire said, let's play ball. Session already going. The kick and the pitch. Fastball called, strike 3 on the low outside corner for out number 2. 2 straight strikeouts for Session in this third inning after getting none in the first 2 innings. Sam Busby will now step in. Flew out to right field his last time up. First pitch, strike. Session really is dialing it up right now. He had major control issues in the first 2 innings, but he seems to have settled in, and that's good news for Klein Collins, bad news for Conroe. 0-1. That's low, as I was just saying that. It's 1-1. Really great crowd once again on display here tonight for both sides, traveling really well. They have 1-1. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Apologies for the bad language you may have heard there. Next pitch. Line drive caught by the shortstop in Romero for out number 3. Busby put a decent swing on it, but ultimately finds the glove of a Klein Collins Tiger. We're through 2.5 here at Bearcat Park on the campus of Klein High School. Still knotted up, 2-2. We'll be right back for the bottom of the third inning as Klein Collins trying to break this tie.
Coming to the plate, shortstop number 23, Bryce Romero. Go, Bryce.
Back here on Houston Sports, live calling you on the call for this really good game so far between Conroe and Klein Collins. Romero steps in to lead things off for Klein Collins. Session and Melendez right behind them are due up as time is called. Romero, his last time up, singled with 2 outs and represented the first run scored for Klein Collins in that bottom of the first inning. First pitch from Trantham is a nice one in there for a strike on the black. Oh, 1. Did he hold up his swing? No, says the first base umpire on a breaking ball that was very low. Good on Romero on his part to hold up, but he almost didn't. Count evens up to 1-1. Next pitch in there for a strike. Sounded so good in Stanger's catcher's mitt. It is now 1-2. Crowd went very silent on that pitch from Trantham. Trantham looking to get the first out here. He hasn't been able to in the first 2 innings. Looking to do it here. Here's the pitch. Fastball way high and away. Released it just a little too early. Probably opened himself up as well as he was going. He's already going to try to work quickly here on this 2-2 pitch. He takes his time now. Once again, working from the first base side of the rubber. Glove at the belt, the kick and the pitch. Breaking ball, slider kind of runs outside in the other batter's box to run the count full. Romero working a good at bat after Trantham got him down to a 1-2 count. Still not over yet. Let's see what he does here. Here's the pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Called strike 3. Trantham really dealing right now his 4th strikeout of the game. His 2nd in a row. He has struck out 3 of the last 4. Session now up at the plate. He calls time as Trantham takes his time. Really good display of mind games, I will say, by Trantham, trying to control the pace. And that is what you got to do for a pitcher in the playoffs. Here's the first pitch to Session. Breaking ball finds the middle for a strike. Session was definitely not expecting that. Last time up for Session, though, he hit a hard ball for a double. Represented the 2nd run of the game for Klein Collins. Next pitch. Big cut and a miss. On the changeup, it's 0-2. Trantham working quickly, 0-2. Fastball just outside, a good spot. Even if Session would try to swing at it, it would be really hard to do something with that pitch unless he really sat back and tried to drive it to the opposite field. Session does show a good presence at the plate. Trantham, first base side of the rubber, he goes again. Fly ball in the air, left field. Watson seems to have it as he waves his arms back, and he makes the catch. Those left center field, right center field gaps are much bigger than you would think. It is out number 2. Of course, if you're not familiar with the field dimensions, it's 304 down the left field line, 305 down the right field line, 12-foot walls. Dead center is 350, kind of a 15-foot wall out there maybe. First pitch to Melendez is just outside for a ball. Melendez walked his last time up. That loaded the bases for Gio Campion, who waits in the on-deck circle. His number is called. Trantham goes. Foul ball. It's 1-1. Should be 1-1. The scoreboard says 2-1. It is 2-1. I guess I miscounted myself. 2-1. That's low. It's 3-1. Trantham trying to find a strike here. 3-1. Does there on the fastball to run the count full. Not trying to walk Melendez again to give Campion runners on the bases. As the crowd stomps the bleachers, 3-2. That's low for ball 4 at the feet of Melendez. That's Melendez's 2nd walk of the night.
Second baseman, number 1, Gio
Campion now steps in. He is responsible for driving in both runners so far tonight for Klein Collins on an RBI double down the left field line. Activity brewing in Conroe's bullpen. First pitch is outside from Trantham. At Bearcat Park, the bullpens are on the field. Here's the 1-0. Fastball just misses, must have been just low. Looked really good from here. Of course, if you're Klein Collins, you'll take it. Can't really see who's up and walking down in that bullpen down the left field line for Conroe. Tanner's next pitch is in there for a strike. It looks like kind of a tighter slider, maybe a cutter. Kind of have some nice dip to it. Looking like a fastball at first and then kind of just diving a few inches. 2-1. Low in the dirt, try to get him fishing on changeup. It looked like it's now 3-1. Here's the 3-1. And Compion definitely swung at ball 4. That pitch was below the knees, definitely. That runs the count full. Melendez will be on the run on this pitch here. Tanner looking for his best pitch here. He goes. Swing and a miss. And Trantham is absolutely fired up. His 5th strikeout of the night gets us through 3 innings. Still tied up 2-2 between Klein, Collins, and Conroe. We'll be right back here on the Houston Sports Live right after this. Seven, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Conroe Tigers. Bruns, Matthew, and Raymer. This is a spot in the lineup that has really been key tonight so far for Conroe. Bruns led off the 2nd inning, the top of the 2nd inning with a hit by pitch. Then Matthew reached on a single up the middle, and then Raymer sacked bunt and moved them both into scoring position. And they both eventually came around and score as first pitch to Bruns is outside the zone for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Line drive right to the second baseman, fielded nicely by Compion. Throw on the first in time. One away, but a nice swing. You could hear it on the broadcast how loud that was off the bat.
11.
It looked like it was going to go over the middle, but then the ball sliced right to the second baseman Compion, and he fielded it on one hop. Had to really hang back a little bit. First pitch from Session to Matthew is in there for a strike. Matthew singled up the middle his last time up. Here's the 0-1. Fastball high and away. One out. Session goes. That's in off the hands and over the head of Session. Matthews going to be a close play, and the ball gets away. Melendez couldn't field it cleanly. I would rule that as an infield hit because Session had to go backwards off the mound to try to field that ball and had to make a clean throw on the first to get a speedy runner, and Matthew, who was way nicely far down the first baseline. They are going to rule it as a hit, so that's Matthews' 2nd hit of the night. 9-hole hitter now in Raymer stepping in. Could be interested to see here if the sack bunt is still on the move. The runner in Matthew in scoring position. Raymer doesn't put the bunt down. He swings at the first pitch, and that goes way above our heads and foul. No reaction from the crowd means that no car has been hit. I kind of parked in that general direction where the foul ball went. So I should be fine, though. I usually park very far away. I'm not taking any chances like some people do. Oh, here's the 0-1. He showed bunt and then grounded foul. Matthew was on the run on that pitch. It's 0-2, so a little hit and run action. Of course, in a hit and run, especially for a right-handed hitter, you want to try to get it through the right side, since Compion would be the second baseman Compion would be the one to field it. The throw down to second by the catcher Smith, as that's low and away. It's 1-2. You know, if Raymer really wanted to put a bunt down, he would try to go to the right side with it. Gutierrez playing even on the third base bag, 1-2. That's popped up in the air. Session calls everyone off, and he makes the catch. That's going to be a P3 for out number 2. That does turn the lineup card to the top. Jaden Keith now stepping in. Got the RBI to bring it within 1 run. First pitch slider is high for 1-0. It was a opposite field hit that went over the first baseman's head, and Compion tried to dive for it. Ball went about 100 feet, but it was going to be a tough play either way. Pickoff attempt the first on time. And listen, it doesn't matter how you get that run across, it just matters if you do. And a hit's a hit, really. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Runner on first is Matthew after he hit a single just over the pitcher. In Session. Session steps off. And now reset everything here on this 1-1 count. Looking back at first again at Matthew. Keith looking to get a second hit of the night. Watches that fastball run low and outside. Looks like Session is trying to find that low and outside corner. He has found it a couple of times. Especially if you can find it. And then the catcher Smith make it look convincing to the home plate umpire. It could be a long night for bats. Fastball this time, though, finds the inner half of the plate. It is now 2-2. Just over an hour in this ball game, 8:39 p.m. Central Time. Here's the 2-2. Fastball runs low. Again, it's a full count now. Runner in Jake Matthew will be off and running on this pitch. Jackson Reagan waits on deck if his number is called. Here's the full count pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman, Compion. Fields it cleanly, throw on the first in time for out number 3. The Conroe Tigers were able to get a runner on with a soft hit single by Jake Matthew, but nothing more. We are halfway home in this one, ladies and gentlemen. It is still all knotted up between the Tigers and the Tigers, 2-2. Hey, folks, this could be your business now. Talking about the, with the space we have between innings, I could be talking about your business. Advertising packages are available now, giving you exposure on each broadcast on Houston Sports Live. Introductory advertising packages are available now for all business budgets for the 2025-2026 schedule. To learn more about this opportunity, head to our website at houstonsports.live. Again, that's houstonsports.live. Click on the Advertise tab, fill out the contact form to get the process started today. First pitch from Tanner to Allen is outside for a ball as we get underway here in this bottom of the fourth inning. Or Gutierrez, I should say, rather, as that is also outside. It's 2-0. Trantham goes trying to find a strike here, and he doesn't. It's low. 3-0. Here's the 3-0. Finds the zone there, strike one. Two-one, or 3-1 rather, is outside for ball four. Looking down that left field line, looks like it's Tyler Wilson that's warming up, number 14. I believe that's a number 14, warming up. If Trantham is going to get more trouble on the base paths, head coach Jeff Raymer is not going to take any chances. Going to be exponential for Conroe to get the first game here. That first pitch is fouled off. By Allen, he walked his last time up to begin the top of the second. Here's the 0-1. Shows bunt again, pulls back, is just low. Trantham trying to get to the bottom of the order. And if he doesn't, that top of the order is going to have really good opportunity to try to put Klein Collins back in the lead. Trantham tried to pick off Gutierrez, but it was not in time. Here's the 1-1. Shows bunt again, pulls back as that pitch runs way outside. A good job by Stanger to make sure that doesn't go to the backstop. It's 2-1 as he will go out to talk to his pitcher in Trantham just to make sure that they're on the same page, maybe just try to calm him down. There was some close calls in that first at-bat against Gutierrez that Trantham probably hasn't let that move on just yet, but still a tie ball game. Runner on first, though, representing the go-ahead run, Gutierrez for Klein Collins. Here's the 2-1. Shows bunt, puts it down the first baseline. It's rolling, and foul.
Here we go, Klein.
Allen steps back in on this 2-2 at bat. 2-2, pitch from Trantham. Shows bunt again, pulls back just in time as that curveball runs low. Three-two. Shows bunt again, and that is going to be a strikeout. And that ball hits Stanger in a unpleasant spot. he stands up, seems to be fine. As participation trying to start to fall now. Light, not a big deal yet. Hopefully just a passing cloud a little bit. First pitch is fouled off. Yeah, some participation starting to fall here. That ball gets away, and that's a wild pitch that moves a runner on to second.
I looked up because you were sitting right next to my son. Gentry's my old, yeah. And I was like, that girl left. We had to stay the whole time.
One out. That pitch is low. It's 2-1. Two one's foul. It's 2-2. Hopefully it's just a passing cloud. Was not projected to rain. It's at least a light participation, so we should be fine for the time being. So we'll see if it just passes. 2-2. Foul ball off the Stanger's mask. Tice battling here. It's 2-2 still. Two. Curveball called, strike three, ring him up. 6th strikeout of the night for Tanner Trantham. That's out number 2. We do have some storms that are moving in on the area. Again, no rain was projected to move in. Pitch. In there for a strike. If it continues to rain, we're probably going to have to move up in the press box. Because the equipment's not covered, I will say that. Pitch is high and in to the leadoff hitter in Yasik. Still in the bottom of the 4th inning, still got plenty of game here to play. Here's the next pitch. That's in there for a strike. It's 2-2. Trantham trying to end this inning here. And folks, after this, we're going to have a slight delay as we will move to the press box as it is starting to pour down. It's still lightly participating, but we are going to move just for the safeness of the equipment. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tanner Trentham keeps on going. He keeps it tied up 2-2 with the 7th strikeout of the game. And we're through 4 here, 2-2. Apologies for the slight delay, folks. Had to gotta get my jackets to cover up the equipment. First pitch to Keith, he was hit. Again, it wasn't really expected for the rain to already move in here so early. Excuse me, it wasn't Jaden Keith. It was actually Reagan that got hit by a pitch, and now Tanner Trantham's at the plate. First pitch to him, that goes foul into the night sky. Pickoff attempt, not in time. There is some bodies going down to the away, not the away, excuse me, for the bullpen down the right field line for Klein Collins. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss on the breaker. It's 0-2. Another pickoff, not in time. Just lightly drizzling now. 0-2. in the turf. Smith blocks it, and Reagan's going to get there safely on the second on the wild pitch. So a runner in scoring position now for Conroe. Next pitch is just foul. Nobody out, 1-2. Tanner swings and he fouls it. One-two from Session. Swing and a miss in the dirt. And Reagan's going to take first on a pitch that was in the dirt. So it's a productive strikeout nonetheless, as Reagan now goes on over to third for Adam Rothlander. Griffin is out at the home plate umpire talking about something, and I wonder what exactly the conversation could be. Still a conference between the four umpires for the night. And there's nothing to be changed. And head coach Chris Griffin seems infuriated and doesn't like the call. So the call will stand as called. Conroe has the go-ahead run at third. Here's the first pitch to Rothlander. He watches that one go low. Thought about swinging, but holds up in plenty of time. Folks, we're not going to have the scoreboard for a bit. So just bear with us here as we try to battle the elements here. 1-0. Fly ball to right center field. Going to be caught by Holman, the right fielder, and Reagan tags up, and he will easily score. Conroe is up now 3-2. This crowd is getting into it. Up come now is Stanger. First pitch to him, swing and a miss. It's 0-1 now for Stenger. He has no runners on, so what he wants to try to do is just try to get on base, try to keep the inning going. Next pitch, fastball, 0-2. Called, strike 3, and that'll do it. Session gets out of it, but the damage is done. Conroe is now ahead by 1, 3-2. Tanner Trantham is back out there for his 5th inning of work. We'll be right back after this for the bottom of the 5th inning. Folks, I just wanted to let you know once again that you don't want to miss the final UIL state event of the year. The 2025 State Baseball Championships are taking place June 5th through June 7th at the Dale Diamond in Round Rock. For schedule, spectator, and ticket information, please visit uiltexas.org/baseball. Again, that's uiltexas.org/baseball. Just want to apologize, folks. Stepped away from the mic. I'm going to be honest with you. I literally ran to my truck, which is not too far away from the stadium. I literally ran to it just so I can get a few jackets. That way I can cover up the equipment from this light precipitation. But thank you for bearing with us here on Houston Sports Live. What a heck of a first broadcast, I will say the least. It is quite the spectacle. You just never know what's going to happen in Texas high school baseball. You just never know. Holman steps in, first pitch is low in the turf, and it rolls away. I believe that's still Tyler Wilson. I believe I see a 1-4 on the back of that jersey. Of course, I could be wrong. Left-handed hitting Holman. Deep breath. Tanner Trantham goes. 1-0 is high. That next pitch was again outside the zone. It's 3-0. Holman threatening to walk to lead things off in his bottom of the 5th. 2-0. 3-0 rather. Now it's 3-1. Trantham goes on a 3-1. That is just high for ball 4. Holman walks to lead things off to set up Romero. Looking on AccuWeather.com, there is a big batch of storms moving through downtown Houston, but it looks like the upper areas of Houston will just miss it. Of course, wherever you're tuning in, please be safe out there. Swing and a miss by Romero to begin the at-bat against Trantham. It's 0-1. Klein Collins dugout getting into it. Once again, trying to get the bats rallied up. Here's the 0-1. Big cut and a miss on the slider low and away. It's now 0-2. This will be a big first out for Trantham if he can get Romero right here. He does still have Session and Melendez to deal with if Melendez's number at least is called. On the 0-2 pitch, it is low, just below the knees. The kick and the pitch. Same pitch low once again, trying to get Romero fishing. And it's 2-2. High stakes game here. Conroe fans on the edge of their seats. Trantham goes on the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 for Tanner Trantham. Trantham now working against Session. Session hit a 2 RBI double off of him in the first inning as he swings and misses at the breaker, a low and away. This is a big battle here between pitcher and pitcher. Breaker, squibbed off the end. Stanger fields it. He's going to throw on a second to get the force out, and he barely does. That was very risky, but it works out anyway. A nice scoop at second base by Busby, and that's out number 2 on the fielder's choice. Can't say I've seen a 2-4 fielder's choice in my life.
Pitcher number 8, Cody Madden. Now at the plate, number 22, Melendez.
Cody Madden will courtesy run for Session. Don't know if his night is done after this. We shall see. Melendez now steps in. He's been an on-base machine tonight with 2 walks. Madden leading off the first base bag for Klein Collins. Here's the first pitch, is low in the turf. Good scoop by Stanger to keep it right in front of him. Precipitation has now calmed down. Here's the 1-0. Fastball's just low and outside. And head coach Jeff Raymer is going to go out and have a conversation with Trantham. He hasn't made the point to the bullpen just yet. This is probably just a conference to try to just settle him in. He is 2-0 against Melendez. No point yet. And head coach Chris Griffin's going to take this opportunity to bring in his base runner and hitter, along with the on-deck hitter in Compion. Of course, only 2 mound visits per inning. Once that second one comes, gotta bring out another pitcher. Man, Coach Raymer's gonna ride with his guy on the mound. Trantham has been absolutely stellar this evening. If he can get through just one more inning and the offense tacks on a few more runs, it'd be absolutely insurmountable. Fastball at the knees for a strike, beautifully located. It's 2-1. Madden goes, pitches a strike, and Madden gets there in plenty of time. He had a great jump. Count now, however, goes 2-2. That curveball was beautifully located on the knees as well. Tanner Trantham sitting at 8 strikeouts. Could be looking to get another one here, at least just any out whatsoever. Putting the pressure more on Klein Collins. Runner on second is Madden. Trantham looks back, the 2-2. Fastball's just low. Some of the crowd not taking a liking to the call, as you could probably hear. Still got to make your pitch here if you're Trantham. 3-2. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Ninth batter goes down. Trantham still fired up. If that is the end of his night, what an absolutely great outing for Trantham. The Conroe Tigers still lead 3-2 against Klein Collins as we are now through 5 innings here on Houston Sports Live. We'll be right back after this. Session is back on the bump for Klein Collins. He'll be facing, for at least for the time being, the 6, 7, 8 hitters in Busby, Bruns, and Matthew. The Tigers able to tie it up in the last inning at the top of the 5th, thanks to a Rothlander sacrifice fly. Pitch is low for a ball. Good start for Busby. One-0. Fly ball left field. This is hit well, and that one is gone! Sam Busby, oh my goodness! Probably one of the smallest guys on the squad just hit an absolute shot over the 12-foot left field wall to make it 4-2 Conroe. This Conroe crowd has gone restless. What a big fly by Sam Busby. A big insurance run. Session goes to Bruns, ground ball to third, fielded nicely by Gutierrez. High throw to Melendez, but Melendez able to catch it and keep his foot on the bag. One away. Matthew steps in and tried to check his swing, but he went, says the home plate umpire, did not defer down to first, so it's 0-1. Session goes on the 0-1, it's now 1-1. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss. On the breaking ball, it's now 1-2. Should be 1-2. The scoreboard says 0-2. Pitch. Slider just outside. 2-2 count. Home plate umpire confirms that I was right. Soft fly ball to right center field. Compion skating back in. He makes the catch, goes down to one knee for out number 2. That sends the 9-hole hitter up in Owen Raymer. He had a big sacrifice bunt early on in this ball game in the second inning that contributed hugely to a 2-run spot in the top of the second. Swings at that one and lines it on the ground foul past the first base dugout where Klein Collins is. It's 0-1. Oh, 1. Raymer late on that pitch. It's 0-2. Oh, 2 outs, the pitch. Raymer stares boldly at that breaking ball. That could have easily been called strike 3 if the umpire deemed it so, but it was very close. It's 1-2. Raymer trying to battle here. That one, I believe, hit off the catcher's mitt. I didn't hear it off the knob. It's now 2-2. Yep, it is 2-2. Did not hit Raymer's bat knob. Got somebody warming up down in that right field line bullpen for Klein Collins. Like it's Rogelio Martinez as the umpire gets a few baseballs from Klein Collins. Even count 2-2 with 2 outs for number 2, Owen Raymer. Here's the 2-2. High, ball 3. After being down 0-2, he works the count to 3-2. Down 1-2, excuse me. Session goes quickly though. 3-2 is called strike 3. That pitch looked really well below the knees. Raymer was about to head on to first, but that'll do it for Conroe. But Sam Busby with the shot over the left field wall to make it 4-2 Conroe. We now head to the bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher coming in for the Tigers. We'll have more information right after this on Houston Sports Live. Welcome back on Houston Sports Live. Collin Neill here on the call. Glad to have you with us for our first broadcast ever on Houston Sports Live. New pitcher, and when you know it, it was the guy that hit the solo shot in the last half inning, Sam Busby. He'll be taking trainer Tanner Trantham's place. Tanner Trantham moves to right field. And Jackson Reagan comes from right field and playing second base. Well, here we go. Sam Busby goes on the first pitch. Breaker is just high for ball one. Here's the 1-0 from Busby. That's going to go foul over the first base dugout. Gio Campion is the batter in the batter's box. Here's the 1-1. Curveball grounded. Matthew fields it. Throw on the first. You betcha. In time for out number one. The sophomore, the everyday third baseman for Jeff Raymer, complimented him quite a bit on our pregame talk earlier in the broadcast. And you can see why. Ranging to his left, keeping his glove down, following the ball to his glove. Ground ball to Busby. He has it. Throw on the first in time to get Gutierrez for out number two. Busby really working this sixth inning quickly. And now Allen will step in for Klein Collins. Busby goes on the first pitch. Fastball in there for a strike to Allen. Nice and easily, 0-1. Breaking ball, beautiful in there for a K. It's 0-2. And if Busby strikes out Allen, this crowd behind me is going to go absolutely nuts. Here's the 0-2. Foul. And no sound, no reaction. Cars are safe, folks, for now. Knock on wood for me. I have no wood near me whatsoever. Trantham playing shallow right field, 0-2. Swing and a miss. Sam Busby, he can do it all, folks. He works a 1-2-3 sixth inning, and we head to the final frame. The Conroe Tigers are up 4-2 on Klein Collins. Here live on Houston Sports Live. Welcome back to Houston Sports Live. We are here for the top of the seventh inning. Here's the first pitch to the top of the order in Jaden Keith. That one's in there for a strike, I believe. No, that was in there for a ball. Keefe with the RBI single in the second inning. Watches that next pitch go in there for a strike. Session is still out there, so at this point, Session is just trying to keep it a 2-run game and also saving the pitching staff for Klein Collins at the same time. Here's the 1-1. Keith shows bunt, pops it up, and wow, what a diving catch by Tim Smith, the catcher. And that is out number 1. Jackson Reagan now steps in. He's also had a big night. Has scored 2 times, or rather once. He had as an RBI single also back in that second inning. An RBI groundout, rather, I should say. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. He sees it's 0-1. One away. Session goes. High fly ball down the left field line, but this will go way foul. Didn't have the home run distance. Reagan really jumped on that pitch. It is now 0-2. Don't forget, folks, right after this game is concluded, we'll have a post-game show, but it's going to be rather quick, so that way we can avoid the precipitation that is predicted to roll in probably the next hour or so. 0-2, 1 out. That goes way high and goes right to the backstop. And the crowd is letting Session know it. One, two, pitch coming from Session. Swing and a miss, a dirty pitch. It was in the turf, though, so Smith has to complete the out, and Melendez just barely stays on the bag as that ball was looking like it was going to go down the right field line in foul territory. That's out number 2. Tanner Trantham now steps in. He wants to try to extend this inning to give Conroe a bigger chance in it getting some insurance. A 2-run lead. Trantham calls time. Trantham has had a big night. 5 innings of 2-run ball. Line drive and diving catch by the third baseman, Gutierrez. My goodness, Trantham hit it very well, but unfortunately, a better defensive play by Gutierrez at third. Well, we are down to the final 3 outs. Sam Busby heads to the mound. He's looking to complete the save here at Bearcat Park on the campus of Klein High School. We'll be right back on Houston Sports Live. Don't go away. Conroe 4, Klein Collins 2. Folks, tonight's broadcast of high school athletics on Houston Sports Live is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any retransmission or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Houston Sports Live or SBE Studios is strictly prohibited. We got a pinch hitter here for Klein Collins. And see who that is. First pitch from Busby. Breaking ball is just high. It's going to be number 2 for Klein Collins, Noah Deason. 1-0. Fastball in the upper out inside corner of the zone. It's 1-1. Yeah. 1-1. Breaking pitch is just below the knees. It was dirty. Decent able to hold up. 2-1 from Busby. Fastball in on hands, grounded to first, fielded nicely out there by Bruns. He steps on the bag for the first out of the 7th inning, a big first out. Now the top of the order steps in for Klein Collins. Dylan Yashik will step in. Yasik watches that first pitch go just outside. This is a dangerous part of the order for Klein Collins, of course. 1-0, one away here in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball's high. Two-0 with 1 out. Busby with the deep breath. The kick and the pitch. Fastball catches the inner half for 2-1. Man, this would be absolutely huge if Busby can get it done here. 2-1. Breaking ball, fly ball to center field. Rothlander's moving in on it. Chantham calls him off to make the catch. We're out number 2. Klein Collins are down to their final out. And you can hear it. The Tiger fans, for Conroe at least, are getting into it. Ryan Holman now steps in as Klein Collins' last hope. Here's the first pitch from Busby. Fastball at the top of the zone for strike 1. Next pitch. Line drive to right field. That'll get down for a base hit right to Trantham. And that is a single by Holman to keep things going here for Klein Collins. And now Bryce Romero will step in representing the tying run. First base runner allowed by Busby. Here's the pitch. Fly ball popped up. Reagan moving in. He calls everyone off, and he makes the catch. And that does it. The Conroe Tigers have taken Game 1 of the area round against Klein Collins by a score in Game 1, 4-2. Give the win to Tanner Trantham. He throws 5 innings of 2-run ball with 8 strikeouts. Sam Busby gets the 2-inning save in the solo shot over the left field wall to get Conroe's 4th run of the game. As the teams shake hands, we'll step aside and take a break. Your Conroe Tigers are victorious 4-2 in Game 1.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back to Houston Sports Live. Collin, Neill here, calling the action here tonight. Well, what an absolute game by the Conroe Tigers. You know, when I talked to head coach Jeff Raymer before the ball game, he made things clear. It is that execute on all facets of the game. Pitching, hitting, and defense. There was at times where it was shaky, especially that first inning when Klein Collins got out to a 2-0 lead thanks to a 2 RBI double down the left field line that got past Matthew. But, you know, you can't really hold that against Matthew because that ball was hit insanely hard. He did make up for it later on, making a couple of nice defensive plays. But the fact that the Conroe Tigers were down 2-0, and then they came back in that top of the second inning to tie it immediately afterwards, and on some small ball, like balls that weren't hit hard, but they found the right spots in the field. And it doesn't matter how it's done. It's just the fact that you get it out there, you create chaos, you get runners across the plate. But it was still tied 2-2 going into the top of the fifth inning. And again, there was some more chaos. The Tigers had Jackson Rakin at first. He then got to second on a wild pitch, and then on a strikeout by Trantham, he was able to get the third because it was a wild pitch in the turf. And then Ed Rothlander sent a ball to center field to get the sacrifice fly in to make it 3-2. But then here comes Sam Busby in the top of the sixth inning. I personally wasn't expecting it. I don't think a lot of people were expecting it, but he hit a big fly over the left field wall in a place where it is really hard to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He somehow does, as one of the smallest players on the squad. He has some major pop behind that bat. He made it 4-2, and he came on relief of Tanner Trantham, who threw 5 innings of 2-run ball with 8 strikeouts. He was absolutely phenomenal tonight. He got the job done this evening. It was either 8 or 9 strikeouts, but either way, that's a high strikeout total against a really good Klein Collins team, and you couldn't ask any more for your starter. And then Sam Busby coming in from second base after hitting that solo shot to make it a 4-2 game, comes in and gets the 2-inning save to shut the door on Klein Collins. What a great game by Conroe. Even though they were down early in this one, they took it at bat after at bat after at bat, pitch after pitch at a time, and they are the winners here tonight for that reason. You know, for the first Houston Sports Live player of the game, I got to give it to Sam Busby. He hit that solo shot over the left field wall to make it a 4-2 game, putting more pressure on Klein Collins. I mean, I would put Tanner Trantham there as well, but just the fact that Busby was able to get that insurance run, getting that big home run, I mean, you could feel the momentum shift immediately when that ball went over the left field wall. And Klein Collins just could not respond afterwards when Busby was on the mound, and he pitched 2 innings of shutout baseball, allowing only 1 base runner, getting a strikeout, and just getting it done on the mound. So he's your Houston Sports Live player of the game, Sam Busby is. Well, that'll do it for us here on Houston Sports Live. What a heck of a first broadcast. It started to rain a little bit. I literally ran right to my truck to get jackets to make sure I saved this very expensive equipment, but to also make sure we keep this coverage going for the Conroe Tigers. That will do it for us. I am Collin Neill. Thanks to our executive producer, Jordan Smith. That'll do it for us. Once again, final score, Conroe Tigers 4, Klein Collins 2. Just want to let you know, once again, that tonight's broadcast of high school athletics on Houston Sports Live is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any retransmission or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Houston Sports Live or SBE Sports is strictly prohibited. The next game, Game 2, will be tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. as well. Believe our good buddy, old pal Jordan Smith, will be on the call for that one, getting the information here. It is going to be back here, I believe, at Klein High School at Bearcat Park. So if you're out here, it's going to be it's going to be hopefully a much easier drive. The traffic was really, really crazy heading up here this evening. So it's going to be quite a great atmosphere yet again tomorrow between the Conroe Tigers and the Klein Collins Tigers. I mean, the crowd absolutely showed up here tonight, folks. It was quite the game. It had everything that you love about Klein High School baseball. Before I let y'all go, just wanted to make sure I confirm that indeed that the game 2 will be at Klein High School. Just want to make sure I get it right. I'm pretty sure I'm right. But, of course, I will do my due diligence as a broadcaster to make sure I give out accurate information, and it will be at Klein High School. Yes, it is. Finally found it. So come out here. If you're a Conroe Tiger fan, come on out here. Enjoy some great high school baseball. These guys really need you. They had a really big win here tonight to steal the first game. They're going to look to try to close out the series tomorrow, and if they don't do it tomorrow, both teams will be back here for the series finale at noon right here at Klein High School. And we'll have the coverage for you here on Houston Sports Live. That'll do it for us. I'm Collin Neill saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of Houston Sports Live's coverage of high school athletics. Good night and get home safely. And we're out.